In the meeting, pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
What you got?
Roll call.
Jack Cutting,
We're here.
Lawrence Myers,
Here.
Tony Mills,
Here.
Thomas Hooper,
Here.
Mike Pollard,
Here.
and Gary Smith.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay. All been given a copy of the agenda. I'll entertain a motion for the approval of the agenda. Motion made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So approved. Okay.
Okay, I don't know how you want to start with that.
We actually have to approve 3 meeting minutes. So I guess the proper procedure would be to start with the September one. You should have the copy of that one in front of you. Take a couple minutes and look through that one and we were missing enough people that we couldn't vote on this last 2 meetings, so. That looks okay to you. I'll entertain a motion for approval of the September agenda. September meeting minutes.
Motion approved.
All right, second? Tony, second. Motion to approve and second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, September meeting minutes approved.
Thank you.
November meeting minutes. I'll entertain a motion for approval of the November 20th minutes. All right. And a second? Motion and second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Okay. And our most recent meeting, Tuesday, January 22nd. And once again, I'll entertain a motion for approval.
Motion to approve.
Second. Motion and a second. All those signify by saying aye. Any opposed? So moved, all 3 approved. Financial report.
So you
Ms.
have 2 sheets in front of you. Go with the horizontal one first. This shows your monthly totals that were deposited into this account by collections through the city of the 2% lodging tax. So you can see that for the month of January, that deposit was $1,341, rounded up, which was about par with the last year and up from FY 2017. So this is a tracking mechanism for the funds on account, and then the vertical sheet that you have is all of the expenditures from the fund since the current fiscal year started. So you see there from October, November, December, and January, deposits into the fund are the left column. Those are the credits, and expenses that were taken out of the fund for payments, those are the right column there. I would point out that the December 28th CTM Media Group, that 690 was a couple of invoices together because it's
Normally not that high.
it's 3 months, so
Yeah.
it's $330 per month. So whenever they have multiple invoices from one vendor, they just pay it with one check. So,
Okay.
and nothing was paid in January.
Okay.
So your current balance is $33,185.05.
Okay. Any questions on the financial report? Yes, sir.
Looks like the July of 17. What is going on then?
There was a large, or let me look at it and make sure there was a large
$20,000?
payment. Yes, so that was a catch-up payment by a particular property that was,
Oh, okay.
yeah. They needed to catch up, yeah.
Okay. Any other questions? I'll entertain a motion for approval of the financial report. All right. Have a motion, a second? Second by Tom. Okay, motion is second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Thank you very much. Approval of financial report. Any old business to come before? No? Okay. We'll move on to new business. And we have the revised proposal for the spring road trips,
Yes.
as
and-
per our discussion
Yes.
last meeting.
And so, the revised, full page in Webster Kirkwood Times, Central, West End, and South County Times, it's kind of in the middle of the list there. They gave us a really, really great rate, and they included the free color and a digital presence for our ad on their website for the Times publications. So as you can see, the full page advertorial for St. Genevieve tourism would be $2,918. And you asked me to find out, there was some discussion of, would we want to encourage the businesses, which we typically do, to participate? And if we did that, could we benefit from the larger real estate, so to speak, in the publication and get some better rates as a result of the amount of space that we were paying for collectively as a community? And so just below that, you see where I put a notation. They gave us a quote of just shy of $500 for the extra half page. So if you approve this, the full page tonight, then I've been talking with some of the businesses about it anyway, and some of them are anxious to participate. And at that kind of a rate, we could have a page and a half, a page paid for by the commission with these funds, and a half page potentially of local businesses, and really have quite a presence there. And it would be at a significant savings for those businesses that wanted to participate.
Sounds good.
And events, there's probably an event or two that might like to participate, since this is the spring road trip special section. So there is the amount there And the two expenses above that, these are the rack card distribution, and I went ahead and did, last meeting we approved March. I went ahead and did April and May, just because we can, and then you wouldn't necessarily have to meet in March unless there was something that you wanted to cover, we could.
Okay.
So for
And
your
same way with the-
consideration.
Same way with the Madden.
Correct, yeah, so that's $230 a month, $460 for the 2 months, and $330 or $660 for those 2 months.
Mhm.
When is the ad, when will the ad be placed?
So it comes out in April, and we would need to get our materials in March. So, right around the corner, really. But it will give us enough time to reach out to businesses and organizations and see if they would like to participate.
Okay, but you.
And they submit their ad directly, they submit their payment directly, none of it goes through, obviously, these funds, but also none of it goes through my office.
Okay. But as far as the, putting the ad together, you don't feel we'll have any problem making that deadline?
No, no. For our full page, we usually do editorial with some photos, and sometimes it's a struggle for some of the merchants to do their, like they might do an 1/8 or a quarter or a 16th.
Right.
But the paper's generally very helpful with it.
Okay. Right. And then you want to say anything about the billboard on the bottom, or is that?
Well, so that was the other item. So there, at the Tourism Advisory Council meeting, there was discussion of a presence on the interstate with a billboard. And I mean, we've talked about it from time to time. It's been a while, I think 2 years since we had a billboard in both directions. And so I went out to the companies that we've used before and asked them what they have in inventory, and looked at rates. And so of those companies, the one that had the best opportunity was the Lamar Company, and they gave us a very attractive rate. Plus, most of the companies allow us like a discount if we pay for the whole year at one time, which is what we generally do, what this commission has done before. And so this sign is at mile marker 157. As you're southbound coming towards St. Genevieve, it would be on the left-hand side, and it's a double tall, a stacked billboard, and we would be the one on the top. So in that location, you would have traffic going up and down the interstate, like if they're going to a Cardinals game or anything in St. Louis, they would be coming back and seeing this this billboard. It's illuminated, of course, and in addition, we could put something on there like next 2 exits for St. Genevieve. So because they're going to see the St. Genevieve exit, and they're going to say, "Is this the one?" Well, the sign said the next 2 exits, so I know I can get there. So. In my opinion, it would be a good opportunity. We've had a lot of local businesses asking, when are we going to have a presence out there? There are other communities who are advertising prolifically along the interstate, including a certain sausage company. And I always say, if a sausage company can afford to advertise up and down the interstate, it's got to be a good idea, because you don't make that much selling sausage. So,
How would we do quick?
well, maybe.
Yeah, they have a product that they're selling, and that makes it a little tight focus.
Yes, yeah. So,
And that's a much better location, I think, than way up in Festus where we were before.
gave them time to forget about us by the time they got down here, right?
Right, yeah, but then we get all that reinforcement of the other
Mhm.
things that we have, which I think is a great location.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. So the other thing, if you think about it that way, so that's right after you pass the Love's truck stop, which has got to catch your eye. And then if we said next 2 exits, then you have also like the tourism-oriented directional signage, the MoDOT signage that says, Historic St. Genevieve, it says the Felix Valley House, Pond State Park. It's like, wow,
You
must be a
reinforce
lot
that
here.
one after another, and I think that's a much smarter way to advertise with a billboard, is right there rather than, further away than it was before.
Oh, great.
The
So,
only other
and it's a
question-
traffic count of about 50,000, which is,
The only other question I have on that is, with the national park coming in, and then putting Saint spelled out, is that something that we need to look at in doing some of that advertising? Yeah, it's one of those things that,
yeah.
again, it's that name similarity, the branding.
Branding, yeah.
Just trying to, where do we change that? Do we continue what we're doing? Do we wait for them to get signed up before we consider doing that? And
Well,
it's
I
one of those
could-
little things, but it
Yeah.
can be big in the long term.
I could take that up with the Tourism Advisory Council and ask for their, guidance and input there. My own take on that would be that we currently have a lot of cumulative recognition of the STE period. Also, all the other signs that they're going to pass on the tourism-oriented directional signage will say STE period.
Yeah.
And so,
When
I
that
feel like it
changes,
probably
we might
would
want,
be-
we need to be kind of aware of that.
mhm.
If that changes, and just in the back of our minds, to continue that continuity.
Mhm.
And if we get a lot of presence by the national park, we might need to look at that in the long term.
It's an interesting point. Yeah. So I just wanted to put that out there and
Lawrence, I know you had a comment before we...
Because when we discussed the billboard a year ago, so it was decided it wasn't effective. Are we now thinking it is effective, and it's changed why?
well, personally, I've never doubted the effectiveness, but at that time, we were looking at some other options, and, and I feel like we've also done well with those other options. Fortunately, the funds are sufficient to be able to do this program and still have some funds available, so I guess you're,
Well, and the cost of the billboard is.
It's very reasonable.
I've been looking into some other advertising, and the billboards have come down in cost, which is kind of it's a market available thing. There's a lot of them available now. And so that's a much better price than they had before.
it is, and I think that, both of our previous signs, as you remember from being chair, Tom,
Right.
both of them are with one company, and I think, we renewed several years in a row at the same price, and I think this supplier is anxious to get back and
Yeah,
be considered again.
yeah. No, the only consideration that I would bring forth is that last year we provided some funds for some of the state, the advertising, they had the state, where they circled the numbers and things. If we do this, we may not have those funds available to assist with that in case tourism doesn't have the money from the sources that it had before. Or last year we didn't get the spring grant. And so we used some of our funds to do some things that tourism traditionally did.
Well,
And if that happens again, would having these funds, it might limit us our ability to help tourism with the things that it's done before.
Yes. So I was able to get the spring, that's the insert into all the Midwestern
Right.
papers. I was able to get that included in the co-op grant for this coming spring. So.
Great.
yeah.
That was my only real concern about this, was just trying to, have too many apples in the basket and not
Right.
be able to pay for all of them.
Who does the artwork?
For the billboard, they have graphic artists on staff. I would send them our graphic elements like the logo and the text and probably also a photo. And they would lay it out and,
I'm just not sure the last billboard was the most effective visually. I don't think,
We were talking about that. There was a
Yeah.
lot of words there.
Yeah,
yeah,
and
too much wordage.
Too much wordage, it's a little dark.
Yeah, a little bright, little more color. It was pretty much just two colors plus white, and kind of need to really, we're gonna spend the money, let's do something really dynamic and make it really pop.
So it sounds like you're receptive to doing this, and I can,
Yeah.
if you have any other questions, by all means, don't hesitate to contact me. But I did ask him to hold on.
Yeah.
to
Are
the
looking at
sign.
what type of a start and commitment date do we have on this?
The sign's available now. I told him that you were meeting this week and that I would let him know, and he said he would hold it until I get back to
Then
him.
maybe we get the graphics within 30 days to him or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe we could, maybe we could see if we maybe do a special meeting or email us once the graphics start to come together, so we can, you know, kind of have a little input on that.
I can do that if that's your
It's,
preference.
yeah,
But we wouldn't have to wait till, you know, next month's meeting.
Right,
If we're able to get
right.
that together before that.
if we can get copies of what the,
That way we could, you know, pass some ideas back and forth.
Right,
And
right.
then I think we can put something together.
anybody have any objection to that suggestion? Okay, let's go with that.
So you need to vote on the expense.
Yeah.
Should we go ahead and do them, I think we should do
Yeah, break them out.
three separate votes, and
Okay.
the ongoing for
Yeah.
the CTM and Madden, then the advertising, and then the billboard, I think.
All right.
Should be three separate issues.
Okay, so for the CTM and the SCM program, I'll entertain a motion for approval of that expense.
I so move.
All right, second? Lauren, second. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so the CTM and SCM is approved. All right, for the full page, St. Genevieve ad, and the day trip section, entertain a motion for approval of that expense.
And that's just the 2918.
Right, that's
Not the
29.
500 down below.
Right,
No, that,
oh,
no, that's just the.
that's right, yeah, right, yeah, just the 2019.
2918.
Yes. Thanks for making that clear. So,
Motion to approve.
okay, do I have a second?
Second.
All right, motion made and second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that's approved. And the billboard for $4,550. I'll entertain a motion for approval of that expense.
I'll make that motion.
Okay,
That's second.
all right. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Do we have any other business that come before the board this evening?
We've got 20 minutes.
Hearing nothing, I will entertain a motion for adjournment.
I so move.
All right,
Second.
second, motion second. All those signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned.